Let's get on with the details of those stories now. They were on their return to their various homes on their usual night out. On that night, they met a 21-member crack team of police officers who mistook them for armed robbers. The policemen opened fire, killing all 7 friends that fateful night. Police insisted that the deceased were armed robbers who had engaged them in exchange of gunfire. But the families of the victims denied the claim and called for full-scale investigations. Today, government has made some details of that investigation public, revealing there is no evidence to support claims by the police. This afternoon, government has ordered the police administration to commence formal criminal investigations into the conduct of the 21 police officers in the incident. Here's what's in the government statement signed by Information Minister Kojo Opong Nkrumah. So, first of all, the 21 police personnel involved in the incident have been found to be principal suspects according to the statement, and no suspect are supposed to be interdicted. Formal police criminal investigations as well have been ordered into this matter. And furthermore, the statement says dependents of the 7 people who were killed are to be supported by government. And I do have a statement here. We've been going through it on our various shows. But just in case you missed out on it, I can go through it quickly for you. It says that the membership of the fact-finding committee was as follows, and it lists the names of those who were on this particular committee. Let me run you by the conclusion. It says the committee has since completed its work, submitted the report to government, and government, upon a careful study of the report, has decided as follows, which is what you saw there. And I'm reading verbatim from the report, from the release that we got. It says the 21 police officers involved in the incident who have been found to be the principal suspect be interdicted by the police administration and be subjected to formal police criminal investigation, which basically sums up. In the interim, government, in consultation with the families and community leaders, will provide support for dependents of the deceased persons. Government assures the general public that due process will be followed in the pursuit of justice and calls for continued calm and patience pending a conclusive determination of the matter. So it is still an ongoing matter, and government is assuring that a conclusive determination of the matter will be determined as we go along. Now we'll take you live to the community where these measures announced by government will be implemented. But first, here are some Ghanaians reacting to the latest development on the story.
It's good that the findings are out. Whoever is supposed to be prosecuted or interdicted in the findings, they surely have to be interdicted, because if we have a report like this coming, then that shows that we can expect other reports to come, hopefully. And this report in particular is good news that it's out because of the sensitivity that is attached to it. This is loss of human lives. These people were breadwinners of families, and so it's good we get to the bottom of this matter and then put it to rest.
I'm a resident of Aswase, Abu Abu to be precise, and it was so sad when they killed them, because we all know they were innocent. It's like mostly when the police do something, they emerge victorious. Whether you are innocent or not, they just find something to accuse you with and then they go away. That's what happens. So it's like the police always gets away with what they do, and it's pretty sad. I feel like we are not safe, because those who are supposed to be looking out for us are not doing their job. We are not safe.
I'm excited finally the committee has been able to come with a report which is devoid of lies. I think the truth has finally, and the people have been vindicated. And I think the recommendations of the committee, the government should go straight to the point and do what the recommendations of the committee says. I didn't expect it. I thought this would just be blown over and then woo. I didn't see this coming.
It is important that the people in the country should be protected with us with the same values. And if some people were shot recklessly, I think that The report is out now. It's clear they were not robbers. So the officers involved must face the dance of the law. They must be subjected to pass through the prosecution. And if they are found liable, they'll be persecuted because this sets a ball. It's a snowball. If it's not corrected, it happens again.
Some thoughts there on that matter. Well, Heming Terrier is in Asawasi. He joins me live on the line now. Hello, Heming.
Hello.
Good to know that we have you. Well, also joining me on the line is Member of Parliament for the area, and we'll be engaging him shortly. But Heming, when you got to the place today, what did you see? What did you hear?
For residents of Asawasi, it is a normal day. But there's this excitement, within them, and everybody that you see on the streets of Asawasi and you talk to, you can feel this, level of excitement that indeed they are happy, that they are thought. Now Ghanaians and government is also with them, that their colleagues and members of the community who were killed were indeed innocent. So they believe that, yes, they have been exonerated. And that is the message that they have been drumming home ever since their incident happened somewhere in July this year.
Specifically to the family members of these 7 people who were killed, have you been able to locate them? Have you been able to reach them?
Very excited, and according to him, the information has also trickled down to the extended family and then the nuclear family of one of the deceased. And he believes that going forward, as government promised to also pay compensation, they will want to follow through and pay attention to this particular process. And they wouldn't want to jubilate over this because, according to them, this is what they have maintained ever since the 7 people were killed. They find their innocence. For government to also, be on that same level with them, it's some sort of exoneration, and that is something that they are happy that indeed now their relatives would not be classified as armed robbers. This particular tag has been a worry to them. But I can tell you that is not a feeling among police officers, especially in Ashanti region.
Exactly. And Heming, I'd like to engage you further on about the police in the Ashanti region and how they feel about it. But hold on for me, and let's engage the Member of Parliament for the area, Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak. Sir, thank you very much for your time this afternoon here on the Pulse. First of all, what's your initial reaction to the release of this report today?
Well, my first reaction is that we are grateful to government for releasing the report, even though we were expecting this to have come much earlier, but never better late than never. And 2, to say that, yes, it is not just about interdicting the officers involved, because these 21 police officers were the whole troops that went there. We believe that government should not delay and should not waste further time in trying to say the police should investigate. To investigate what? Because the committee has presented its report. It has taken government more than a month to analyze the report. I think that they have to go straight to start the prosecution. Yes, the interdiction is a starting point, but government itself, through the Attorney General, must start the prosecution of the police. You see, I believe that there are 1,001 police who are very dedicated policemen, men and women, who are doing everything they can to protect all of us. But we must make effort to get rid of the bad nuts that are among them. And this is a very good opportunity for that to happen. And I expect government to take the necessary steps to start the prosecution immediately. Secondly, in the government's release, government states that, they are going to take care of whatever they've left behind. Please, I think the proper thing to do is for government to compensate the families adequately. Some of them don't have children. The family have gone through much trauma, and since they are state officials that unlawfully killed them, I think the government needs to compensate the family. Because if you say you are going to take care of the young ones, they might have left. Some of them have left. For how long? You may never stay in government forever.
Well,
how are you going to do that? But you have to compensate the family adequately that is within the laws. I think that that's the better way, and government must process this quickly so that at least we can bring finality to all these hulabaloo, so that at least our compatriots who lost their lives will have a perfect rest.
Let me just find out from you let me begin from your answer to the very first concern that you had. You said that immediate prosecution is what is required in this case. Don't you think that if you really want to nail people because you feel they've done the wrong thing, it is necessary to go through the gradual process of investigation? Because 21 of them, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of them may have been involved in anything or what happened.
My sister, remember this happened on the 17th of July. It is taking government all this while to investigate, and then a committee, 5-member committee was set up and it was chaired by a high court judge. They have gotten their report. It is taking government more than the number of times that it's taking the committee to even do the investigation. My belief is that once the report was submitted, government has done all its background checks, and there's no further time to waste. You've determined, you've come to a conclusion that they wrongly killed those young men. Once they've wrongly killed the young men, I mean, they are murderers, regardless of they being policemen or women. They are murderers, so you need to put them before court.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that all 21 of them were involved.
Further investigate, what is the police going to investigate? Remember, it's the police administration that came out to say that they were armed robbers. Now, an independent committee was due to set up, came to a conclusion that there were any evidence to point to the fact that these young men were armed robbers. If you say the police administration should take them through their process, what process? You'll be like wasting time, and justice delayed is justice denied. And I'm saying that if you put them before the law court, definitely the legal process gives every individual the opportunity to be able to defend himself or herself. So that will be a final arbiter where the right, those that are wrong will be determined, those that are innocent will be determined. But if you now say the police administration again should do a further investigation and take them through process, you will be only buying time and wasting and delaying justice, and that will be denying justice. That's just what we are saying. Government should proceed, because when they get to the court, definitely our court system has what it takes to be able to separate those who are guilty of the crime and those who are not guilty of the crime.
Sir, do hang on for me, because I'd like to bounce this off Adam Bona, who is a security analyst, to find out what his thoughts are about proceeding, as far as proceeding with this matter is concerned. Mr. Bona, are you there?
I'm here.
Thank you very much for your time. Mr. Bona joins us via Skype there. I'm listening to the Member of Parliament for Asawase at the moment. First of all, let me take your initial reaction to the release of the report, the timing of the release of the report. Do you think that it's taken too long? Why do you think it's taken too long for government to release the information in this report? And what do you make of the point that the Member of Parliament for the area makes about immediately prosecuting the 21 police officers?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your cherished viewers, and good afternoon to Honorable Muntaka. My immediate reaction to this release by the Minister of Kojo Communication has to do with one of sadness, because this should never have happened. No human being, doesn't matter where you are, should go through this. And so, first of all, my condolences to the bereaved families, and then hoping that the police would have learned lessons out of this. And as a nation, we shouldn't be celebrating, because it was a day where I thought one of the darkest days in the history of this country, where 7 young people were gunned down. And for me, I think it shouldn't have happened. So it's one of sadness. Also, what the Honorable Muntaka said, I think there has to be some, I need to explain something, that the police definitely would be the same people who would have to do the prosecution. And when you are a police officer and you are suspected to have committed a crime, first of all, what they do is to take you through what they call the police service inquiry, where you face internal investigative team, and by so doing, sometimes you are interdicted. And after their own findings, you are likely, depending on the gravity of your crime, you could be dismissed by the police service itself. If you are dismissed and there are any charges for instance, as we have seen in the communique by the minister, that these people didn't commit any crime. It means that there is suspected manslaughter or murder charges is likely to be prepared against these people. And so once the police finish with theirs, I think what we should all be asking for is to ask the police to expedite their own internal investigations because, this thing happened some time ago, about 3-4 months ago, and some of us thought it took government too long to bring finality. And given that finality, we are 50% there. We haven't seen justice yet. And so I am hoping that to marks a turning point in regards to this issue, where people who we are told were armed robbers, we are now getting told by the fact-finding team that they were in fact not armed robbers, but they were mistaken to be armed robbers and were all shot, killed, and paraded on TV. I was expecting the investigative team to have commented on that.
Okay, Ms. Abona, let me just interrupt you briefly, but I'll come back to you so you finish on that second point. But I want to throw this back to the Member of Parliament and find out from him if your suggestion is is something that he's likely to buy. Alhaji Mutaka, thanks for staying on. You've just heard from a security analyst perspective what ought to be done in terms of, he's saying that there are still avenues to deal with this issue if you feel that even if the police goes ahead to do the prosecution now, there are still other avenues to seek justice if you want, and that
yeah, my sister, whereas I agree with him that remember the police, when they are doing prosecution, they are doing it on behalf of the Attorney General, but because this time the police themselves are involved, it is better for the state to have independent prosecutors, or better the state attorneys to deal with this. So the Attorney General's office themselves needed to deal with this one. But if they ask the police themselves to lead the prosecution, you yourself know, they are not really going to, they may not be interested in doing a very good job. That is why I am saying that Attorney General, and then he says that, they needed to do another investigation. What investigation are they going to do to contradict what the independent committee that was set up did, or what? Because remember, that committee was chaired by a high court judge, no lesser person, but a high court judge. And unless all of us are saying that the committee's report is not comprehensive, I want to believe that, believe me, what they did a very comprehensive job. They gave every party the opportunity to be heard. They listened to them, they went to the crime scene, they picked all the pieces that they needed to do. Remember, a BNI senior officer was part of the investigation. A lot other more persons were involved. They invited others to assist them. So if after this committee report you come again and say, let the police investigate. Tell me one investigation that the police have done in the past that involved their own, that came out with anything meaningful. You remember one of the gentlemen in my conference too. I made a statement on the floor of Parliament. The Interior Minister said that the police themselves were investigating. More than 8 months now, nothing came out of it. So I want to plead, any attempt to say that the same police should try to investigate this will be completely misleading and to be delay of justice and denial of justice.
Okay.
The committee's report is there. Attorney General, deal with it.
Have you seen the full report yourself?
Deal with it. Yeah, hello.
Have you seen the full report yourself?
Well, I will not say yes or no because, what I've seen is a confidential thing. I don't have the mandate of that person to make it known.
Okay, so I take it that you've seen the full reports, because what we have here from the Ministry of Information is basically, it's a 2-page document that actually involves the names of those on the committee, so it doesn't have a lot of other information. So it's just a summary. And I don't have the benefit of knowing what's in the full report. That's why I'm asking you, since you're making the comment you're making, to to let us know whether or not you've seen it. But based on what you've seen, I believe that you are very confident that immediate prosecution is possible and is the only way.
When my sister, if the Attorney General's Department, remember when there was this delay and we're calling for the report, we were told that the Attorney General was being asked to study that report, meaning the Attorney General agrees with this restatement that government released, agrees with the committee. meaning that they have seen enough evidence to prove to them that, yes, what the conclusions that the committee came to was accurate. So there's no need for any further delay. Okay. But when you pick the report and you summon these 21 gentlemen, or if there are ladies among them, the police officers, before the court system, the way our court system is that it's not going to just stand on the report and say you are guilty.
Okay.
They are going to be given fair hearing. They will be given the opportunity to defend themselves one after the other, because it is the state against them. Okay. It is true, I can decide to go to the Human Rights Court or maybe to go to any other court, but this crime is against the state because they murdered them. So I think that it is the Attorney General that must pick it up, produce them before court or present them before court. They will have the opportunity to be able to defend themselves, and then those who are not guilty of this crime would definitely be exonerated, and those who are guilty of it would definitely face the full rigors of the law. Okay. And I think that that's what should be done.
Okay, and whilst you're seeking this, I'm curious to find out how the relationship between the members of this community, which falls within your jurisdiction, and the police officers will be, because both of the groups need each other to live in peace. Let me just engage a correspondent about the mood amongst the police officers, some of whom he has spoken to. Ohime, you spoke to police officers today. What has been their reaction to this report from government?
Basically, I would say the mood among police officers in the region is not in the best of moods that they are known for. I have known many of them for years, and when they see you, they are happy, and they chat with you in a manner that you can feel that indeed there's, everything is okay. Today I had the opportunity to speak to some of them, except that the top hierarchy wouldn't want to speak on record or wouldn't want to comment on the issue at all. Okay. Some of the officers I spoke to are of the view that this will go a long way to affect the work of the officers in the region. They are not happy that the government would treat them this way. Some believe that the report might have been tempered with, because according to them, they were so optimistic, and they had they were privy to parts of the report which suggested that the committee took into consideration the evidence that they presented before the committee. This alludes to the fact that the people were armed robbers who at one point or the other sat down and met somewhere to plan the activities in the Manso-Nkwanta area. So they were surprised to hear that a government will issue such a report indicting 21 of the officers. And they claim that these are officers who have devoted their time working as members of the regional anti-robbery task force, protecting residents.
Hang on for me, Ohime, on that particular point. Hang on that particular point. Alhaji Mubarak, you've heard what he said. To what extent does this...
This is very sad to hear that, because you see, then the police are assuming that all the police that we have, well over maybe 5,000 of them, are all angels. That is very unfortunate if the police mood is that way. I mean,
to what extent?
Even when this thing was happening, they had a very cold feet in the Aswasi community, and I had cause to even complain to the Interior Minister. I said, look, we need to be professional. People need to be professional. You and I, my sister, how many politicians have we not had gone to jail in doing the course of their work? Yes, we are entrusted. All of us are entrusted with one position or the other. If you abuse it, you suffer the consequences. If you try to use the office wrongly, you suffer the consequences. Time and time again, the police, you still have 1,001 very excellent policemen
who are professional police officers. What I want to find out from you is how you intend, going forward, how you intend to now mend the relationship between your constituents in Asawase, in this area, especially in the Zongo community, and the police.
Obviously, we have already started. I remember the discussion I had with the Interior Minister. I think that we need to have a community engagement. In my constituency, there are about 5 police stations. You have the airport police station, the Aswasi police station, the Bobine police station, Parakoso, and then Askoromopon. And all of them were working. And I think that there needs to be a more community engagement, because initially there was this temptation that, if you go into the Zongo community, you'll be attacked. And we said that that's never true. Yes, the initial thing that came, yes, high detention. We all went in with the community leaders, religious leaders to speak to the youth. Let's allow the law to work. Let's go through the due process. And they were patient. I want to believe. Now the report is out. Let's take the report to its finality by making sure that the compensation to the family is paid. Those who are supposed to be prosecuted are prosecuted. It is only to caution all of us. Me as a politician, they as a policeman, the military, the immigration, those of us who are given the mandate to govern, especially the security agencies.
Mr. Muntaka, are you bothered? Are you bothered? To what extent are you bothered that the mood among the police at the moment isn't the best because of this?
I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Even before this report came out, I can tell you that when this incident happened, for the first almost 2-3 months, you hardly see the presence of police in the community. And we had cause to complain to the Interior Minister because look, you cannot say that when something goes wrong, people do not have the right to legitimately make concerns. Yeah, we agree the first few days there were some excesses. Yes, but the community leaders have spoken to the youth. Okay. They are patiently waiting. So the police should go and do their work.
The police should go and do their work.
Finance any program that the police may want to do in engaging my constituents in trying to create a bridge that will link them once again to boost the confidence. I'll be more than happy to assist the police in financing such a program to engage the community so that at least there will be trust to know that it's not all policemen that are bad, just as we cannot have every single one of them to be doing the right thing.
Just my very final line, and I'll quickly touch on this with you, Ohime. Ohime, the family members of the 7 persons who were killed that you interacted with today, Honorable Muntaka Mubarak here says that what he expects is immediate prosecution. Do you think that his concerns resonate with the family of those who were killed? Do they want immediate prosecution, or do they just want some sort of settlement with government? Okay, we've lost our humanitarian there. Mr. Muntaka, I'll take my very final question with you, but let me bring Adambona in before that. Mr. Bona, I've just been talking to the Member of Parliament about the relationship between his constituents and the police going forward. What do you see from where you are?
Well, I think listening to your reporter, I say I am a bit sad because as a professional, as a police officer, who are supposed to be neutral. For me, I'm just thinking that even though they are,
but to be fair and to be very and to be very humanly frank, is that easy?
Well, the point is that we have about 36,000 police officers in Ghana. It is 21 of them have been indicted and have been recommended to be interdicted. Yeah. And so interdiction doesn't mean they have been dismissed. But the point is that if indeed they are guilty, why shouldn't they face the consequences? Mine is that they should do their perform their duties as prescribed by the Constitution.
The explanation that Ohime gave to that point is that some of them told him they had seen portions of the reports that suggested to them that they were not, that this was not going to be the conclusion of the story.
I have also seen portions of the report long before today, and this was supposed to be the conclusion.
Okay.
I have seen portions of the report. Even though, for the work I do, I've seen portions of the report that suggest this was supposed to be the conclusion. And so they shouldn't dwell in the rumor angle where they are, taking hearsay, because then the fact-finding committee that was put together was a high-powered committee. And under no circumstances would they come up with a report and the government would doctor the report. Definitely, this current government is not going to be in office for the rest of the entire span of this country. Another government will come, and this one will come out to say the government lied. And so I'm saying that I have seen portions of the report before this, 2-page report from the ministers of that suggested this. We were expecting this, and so I'm not surprised.
So, if you were to give any advice, we have the Member of Parliament for the area on the line, and he sounds desperately committed to making sure that there's a good relationship between the police and his constituents. If you have an advice as to how to move on, mending the relationship so that they can have peaceful coexistence, what will you say?
I think what needs to be done is to organize town hall meetings amongst the police and the community within that catchment area, letting them know that, you see, the police are supposed to be your friends, and then the police must also know that these people are there for them. The truth is that the police alone cannot fight crime. You need informants. You need the people to trust you to bring information about bad knots amongst them in the community. But when there is that mistrust, then we are in trouble.
Okay.
And it's good to hear what the Honorable Minister said, where he said, if there is anything in terms of supporting the relationship building and mending the mistrust, he would support.
He's ready to do that.
Okay. But I think I would urge the Honorable Minister to probably hasten cautiously where saying that we need immediate prosecution.
Okay.
Within the police service itself, I'm not holding free for them. There are procedures they must follow. Okay. And I think that the rule of law, natural justice demands that these people should follow that particular process. But
and be given a fair hearing.
Ask that the process should be fast-tracked.
Okay, hold on for me, Mr. Bona, because I come to you with a different discussion after I'm done with Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak and Ohiming. Ohiming, earlier I wanted to find out, before we let Alhaji Muntaka go off the line, whether or not his concerns about government taking care of the dependents, first of all, and his concern about the need for immediate prosecution is something that resonates with the families of those who were killed when you interacted with them today.
For the family, their concern is not, exactly on the prosecution of the police officers. They were, concerned with the fact that their relatives are being tagged as armed robbers. Okay. And they had wished that government would work assiduously to remove that tag. So once that tag is removed, and government has also promised to pay compensation for them, they are okay with this arrangement. Okay.
Ohiming, thank you very much for that updates there. Alhaji Mubarak, let me take your very final words as to how we go forward. You were not very convinced that about the point in the release that says that government will, in consultation with the family, the government will take care of the dependents, because actually this is how it is framed. He says it's in the interim, government is in consultation with the families and community leaders will provide support for dependents of the deceased persons. This could mean the entire family. It could mean children if they had. Does that satisfy you?
No, that's what I'm saying, that government cannot take upon itself something that itself knows that it is close to impossible. Some of the deceased do not have children. Some of them are not even married. Is that their parents? Some have just maybe a mother, extended families who they were staying with.
They all fit into dependents, don't they?
Yes. No, no. They are not. There are a lot of people that are not their dependents. In fact, some of them may even be dependent on others. But when you pay compensation to your family, you settle it once and for all, rather than saying that you are going to do it. But let me just say, with the greatest of respect, that the police are saying that they've seen some section of the report. That is why all along I've been calling on government to put the report to the public domain. Because then it clears order, because all the members of the committee have a copy of the report. They have copy. So if you put up a report that is different from the one they are holding, they will definitely tell the general public that this is not what we submitted. That will settle this argument between what the police are saying that, oh, they've seen some report that said A or B or C. I think that government should still take the steps to put this document into the public domain so that it settles the argument about what is content. But believe me, what government responded, I can tell you what I have seen is exactly the response government has given, that they were innocent. There was no inner evidence to point to the fact that they were armed robbers. And all the police that were involved presented their facts. So I think that we need to be able to go beyond this, and the only way is to get justice for the family. And then also your reporter saying that their concerns were just to get the bad name of their deceased family members. I disagree with him. I've been with the families. Some of them have visited them several times. If you hear the community every day calling, We want justice.
Yes, so the point he was making is that one of the things they really wanted was that they want to make sure that the names of the deceased are cleared, that they are not armed robbers, as the police said.
That's not all they are looking for. They want justice for their deceased. Justice. And to say you want justice for the deceased was to be sure the name, yes, the bad name is not there. There's compensation paid. There's prosecution. Because you can't get justice if those gentlemen, the police officers who really shot and killed them, are not prosecuted. You will not have justice.
Well, speaking about the police, and again, in your, well, it's not just your constituency, but two separate attacks on the police in the Ashanti region have left 2 officers, including a commander, that's the commander with severe bullet wounds. And I believe that you have heard. And this is, even though this is in the Esiwa district commander, we are told, sustained some bullet wounds around the neck and chest when he was ambushed and shot by persons believed to have murdered a 59-year-old farmer. It looks as though the police is not spared of you know, the wrath of other people and other criminals as well.
Each time it happens to them, we empathize with them, and we pray that they're able to get the perpetrators. And when they get the perpetrators, as you may be aware, the perpetrators are brought before the court of law for justice to be done against people who assault police, or who might have tried killing police, or who might have even killed police. We all support that. But you see, it's a two-way thing. It's a kind of sword with 2 edges. I get it, because you cannot say that because people may sometimes periodically attack police. So the moment police suspect any other person, even when they are trained as professionals, they have other ways. I mean, first try to arrest the person. You are not able to arrest. Maybe you shoot the person's some legs or something so that you'll be able to get the person to face the rigors of the law, rather than to target to kill. You see, especially where you come with a greater respect without wanting to raise emotions, to lie before the whole country in a press conference saying that they were firing at you and you fired back. Meanwhile, the vehicle that you were showing that they used in firing didn't even have a single bullet going through it. I mean, you see, that is what we are saying. Let us be professional. When you are professional, those who attack police will be fished out and then dealt with according to the law. Those the police also try to malhandle above what their mandate is should also go through the same law. But when you say because you are a security person, when you go wrong, it's fine. If the general public go wrong, that one, they should be prosecuted. That would, you'll be creating a kind of difficulty in the society that we run. Because we have courts that are competent. Believe me, if these 21 police officers appear before court, my sister, every single one of them who is not innocent will get away with it. But those who are innocent, we cannot get away with it.
Are you concerned about the lives of these police officers? To what extent?
Very much. Very much. Because you see, just as we are concerned about the life of every single police officer, we must equally be concerned about the single life of every Ghanaian. You see, you have to let's not create an impression that, oh, half of people slapping or harming police, that one is okay because they are professional. No. It is wrong for anybody to assault the police. It is wrong for anybody to even try to insult the police. It is wrong to hurt the police. It is wrong to kill the police. It is equally wrong to hurt a citizen unlawful. It is also wrong for the police to shoot, even if it is the leg of a citizen unlawfully. It is wrong for the police to also kill. You need to get that basis right. But they are professional, they are trained in a way, and all of us know it comes to a point where they have the right to be able to even shoot and kill, where it is clearly that these are people who are holding arms, whether maybe they are militant and they are firing at the police or the military. They have every right to fire back, especially where they have to protect themselves and defend themselves. But where clearly there can be other means of arresting. Look, my sister, I can tell you, you haven't seen some of the details of the report. It is clear that some of these gentlemen were even arrested and sent to a point and killed. If you were to get the details of the report, some of them were even arrested. After they've been arrested, that means after they held them, they sent them to that point and shot and killed them. You think that is right? Simply because they are police? Let us not be emotional. Let the police not be emotional about this.
I'm just wondering why the police would arrest somebody and take them somewhere and kill them, by the way.
That is why the committee report was able to say that, look, these gentlemen were mended.
Okay.
There's no any evidence to point to the fact that they were armed robbers. Let's deal with that. Let's not mix the issues. Let's not try to make it look as if, oh, if someone shoots a police or hurt the police, that one is okay. But if the police does that, that's what we are now fighting about. No.
Not necessarily. I brought this up because it's happening in your region, and I wanted to find out because it's over the weekend.
Very unfortunate, and I empathize with the police who
exactly. And the police commander is actually still in office, battling for his life.
I pray. I wish him fast recovery, and I pray that all the policemen who were hurt get recovery, and then those who attacked them, I pray that I've heard that they made some arrests. I pray that they are able to even get all those that might have run away, so that they will all be brought before the law.
Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak, I'm grateful that you made time for us this afternoon here on the show. Thank you so much. Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak is Member of Parliament for Asawase there. You've heard all the concerns that he has to raise. I still have...